Hey YouTube, it's echobear, and today I want to review an app for you guys that's called Monument Valley. Now before I get into like fun stuff, let's get through serious stuff. I talk English good today. So Monument Valley is made by us two. In Monument Valley, you will manipulate impossible architecture and guide a silent princess through a stunningly beautiful world. Monument Valley is a surreal exploration through fantastical architecture and impossible geometry. Guide the silent princess Ida through mysterious monuments, uncovering hidden paths, unfolding optical illusions, and outsmarting the enigmatic crow people, which also includes Ida's Dream and an expanded version. Beautiful, inspired by minimalist 3D design, optical illusions, and places and temples from around the world. Every monument is a unique, handcrafted world to explore. Easy to use. Twist and drag to reshape the world and help Ida explore, designed to be easy for everyone to pick up, enjoy, and complete. Sound. Audio retracts your manipulation of the world to provide a surreal and beautiful soundscape. Best experienced with headphones. So this is an app that is honestly going to be kind of hard for me to review just because it's been out for a couple years now. It originally came out in 2014, and it's probably been one of the most critically acclaimed apps in the world, like, of all time. It's one of the most beautiful, it's one of the most well executed, it's one of the ones that has the best controls, so yeah, it's just, I'm gonna need to just pick a spot and start telling you guys about it. So if you haven't heard about Monument Valley and you need more explanation from what I just told you, the game centers around your character that you control, which is Ida. Or Ida, depending on who you ask, but I say Ida, so I'm going to be saying Ida through the rest of the video. So if that bugs you, I'm sorry. But the story follows Ida. She's a princess who's either stolen all of these objects from these temples or found them somehow and is returning them. So you're traveling through this world, there's minimal plot, there's a lot of holes for you to fill in as you go, there's a lot of mystery to it, and the end is about as confusing and doesn't solve as many questions as you would want, but it's still really satisfying. So I think this is one of the first apps I've reviewed where I've talked about plot, and like a decent plot to be more specific. But you follow through that, it's a bunch of stuff that reminds me so much of MC Escher and all that impossible geometry where it's like you start on one plane and continue. It's like the forever staircase concept. It's never stops, never begins, that kind of stuff is all spread throughout this game. And it's really beautiful, and the fact that it plays into a game puzzle mechanic and is still easy is probably one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen. The reason I say that is because I've seen some other things try to pull this off and it just ends up being really confusing, like I don't know where I am, I don't know how to get back, but with this one it's really simple, just to like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna walk around until I figure it out. And it's surprisingly not frustrating. Like a lot of other apps, when they try to do this mechanic, it becomes really frustrating and you just kind of want to give up, and that's not fun. And the game has a really good like track as far as difficulty goes. It starts out fairly simple, so you get your feet wet, you get going, like understand how mechanics work, understand how the environment moves and works, and then it moves on to the next thing, and then it just progressively adds more and more things. It adds buttons, levers, slidey things, a little buddy that comes along with you. So it's just all of these things that create a really deep level of gameplay. Like this is something I would expect to be like on a console or indie or Steam. Like it's so well done, I can't believe, like I just can't believe it. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I've kind of gushed a little bit about this, but aesthetically this game is brilliant. It uses color theory like beautifully well. Everything blends together, like everything is either cool color palette, warm color palette, or complementary, or just something that falls within color theory that makes it really, really beautiful. Just everything about this game is beautiful. I could go on forever, but you guys are gonna see over here, like what I'm talking about and just how beautiful it is. So aside from that, the controls are really good. Sometimes it took a little while to get a feeling of how things worked and moved, but once you did figure that out, it just becomes second nature. It isn't something where you have to do it over and over and over again to figure it out and get good at it, like something like Flappy Bird. This is essentially just like, you do it, you figure it out, it's in your brain, you can move on and continue with the puzzles easily. Another thing is the music. The music is just absolutely incredible and gorgeous. It's fantastic. Just the entire score of the game gives a different feeling for each level, for each area. It gives a sense of like feeling creeped out, for being like awed, amazed, or being apprehensive. The music invokes such good emotions throughout the whole thing. It's just wildly incredible. Usually I only review free apps, but once in a while there would be a special exception to this rule, and Monument Valley is one of those. The original game is $3.99, and if you want the expansion for the other levels, that's another fee. When you do buy the original one, you do get the expansion of Ida's Dream for free. But as always, I really do try to want to give you guys free stuff, but this is one that I just needed to talk about that does cost money, but it's reasonable. It's only $4 for something that if I would have seen on Steam or like Xbox Live Store or something like that, I would have expected $20-30 for it. Like, it's that level of professionalism and polish on an app for $4 essentially. That's incredible. And I think that's one of the things I like about the App Store. It allows people to be incredibly creative and create just these beautiful, wonderful things and make it super accessible for whoever wants to play it, because almost everybody in the world has an like app-enabled device now, and it's affordable. So off of that tangent, this fulfills all of those requirements. It's beautifully creative and just overall so much fun to play. Like, I cannot sing the praises enough of this app, so that's why it's gonna get a 10 out of 10. Like, there's nothing about this app that I would want to change. There's nothing I would improve on except just more levels, or Monument Valley 2, please. Because it's so good and so beautiful, you just want to play more of it. This is kind of like my love letter to Monument Valley. It's probably one of my favorite apps that I've ever played. It comes above every other app I've ever played by far. It's just so much fun, and I know usually I say you guys should go try it for yourselves before you believe me, but this time, believe me, this is one of the most incredible apps on the App Store, or that we're probably ever going to see in a really long time. So please go try this app. I know I usually don't tell you guys to spend money, but for the price of this, it's totally worth it. But please go play it. It's so much fun. If you haven't heard of this, where have you been? But if you've heard of it and haven't gone and played it, now is the perfect time to go and do that. It's so much fun, and just, I love it. I love it so much, you guys. You can't even believe. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for sitting through my 10-ish minute gush fest. And I can't talk, I'm too gushy. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment down below, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!